The performance is limitless with the Outer Limits Pearl. Phil Cardinelli here to talk you through the ins and outs of the new Outer Limits Pearl. The Outer Limits Pearl is the second ball in the Outer Limits series. Using the same core as the original, the Outer Limits Pearl features the new HK22 cover. This version of the HK22 is cleaner and sharper down lane. The original Outer Limits was a hybrid and had a strong mid-lane motion. The Outer Limits Pearl is a perfect complement, adding a bit more length and more down lane motion. Using two totally different layouts, Layout A, a pin-up layout, which increases the differentials, and Layout D, a pin-down layout, which decreases the differentials, you see two different ball paths and two different down lane motions. I'm sure you want to know what the oil pattern is. Easy, that's the pattern. ThroBot allows us to mimic any bowler in the world, so we invented our own to best show off our products. Okay, it's time to meet our crew. Meet Brittany Spears, a low-speed, low-rev player who loves playing second arrow. LeBron Frames is the comeback kid, overcoming insurmountable odds to achieve victory. Chuck No Wrist. When Chuck's around, the pins go missing in action. Our rev monster is Rudy Revs. His name says it all. Our low-rev, low-speed player, Brittany Spears, benefits greatly from the pin-down Pearl Outer Limits. It's cleaner through the fronts and stores plenty of energy going through the pins. It has a long enough hook window so that the low-speed, low-rev players can take advantage of this dynamic, asymmetrical core. For Brittany, the pin-up drilling is longer and sharper as would be expected, but the quicker motion off the spot shortens the hook window, making it less versatile than the pin down for this type of player. For Brittany, when comparing the original Outer Limits Hybrid to the new Outer Limits Pearl, the difference is how they go through the pins. The Pearl holds its rotation longer for the low-speed, low-rev players, and thus it's more continuous. LeBron Frames is a 330 rev rate player. With medium revs and medium speed, LeBron gets 30 boards of hook and an impressive down lane motion from his pin down drilling. The pin-up drilling is even more impressive. It's longer and sharper, perfect for opening up the lanes. 30 boards of total hook and a hook power of 13 boards. That's 13 boards of back-end motion. Comparing the original Outer Limits to the new Pearl version, the new Outer Limits Pearl actually hooks a bit more, but has a steeper back-end motion, creating a greater impact angle. Chuck No Wrist is our power player. 400 revs and 18 miles an hour, Chuck likes to open up the lane and feed it to the dry. His pin-down Outer Limits Pearl crosses 28 boards with a huge impact angle of over 6 degrees. Quite impressive from a pin-down asymmetrical ball. For Chuck, the pin-up means lots of motion. 12 boards of back-end motion and great continuation, exiting the pin deck on the 21st board. Chuck can open up the lane with the pin-up Outer Limits Pearl and be confident that his strike percentages will only go up. Comparing the Outer Limits Pearl to the original Outer Limits, Chuck sees more length and more flip, and lots more continuation with great pin carry. When Revs gets all over it, you see paralyzed 10 pins and demolished racks. Quite the sight to behold. There are no limits to your scores when you get the Outer Limits Pearl. Look for the Outer Limits Pearl with the new HK22 Plus Pearl cover at a pro shop near you and join the radical revolution. Wow, that's radical.